Okay, so get ready, because today we're going deep on DeHero Group.
Uh-huh.
Now, you might be thinking plumbing.
Yeah, seems pretty straightforward.
That's what I thought too, but stick with us. This is way more interesting than it sounds. This might actually change how you think about like home improvement or even running a business. Really.
No kidding.
All right, so we're talking about a company that does it all. Like they do plumbing, of course, that's the obvious one. Internal decoration, sure, makes sense, right?
Right.
But then it gets a little weird. Real estate cinematography, construction, general contracts. What's going on here?
It's kind of like they looked at everything you could possibly need when you're dealing with property, and we're just like, let's do it all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today. Like, why? What's the strategy there?
Yeah.
And does it actually work?
Well, the thing that jumps out at me is this whole one-stop shop idea. I mean, think about it. If they can really pull this off, the convenience alone would be a huge selling point, and potentially even more efficient than the way things are usually done.
Yeah, that's true. But when I first saw this list of services, I was like, hold on. Is this too much? Can one company actually be good at all of this stuff?
I get that. It does seem like a lot, but the more I thought about it, it kind of started to click. It's like, imagine you're doing a typical home renovation right now.
Yeah.
Usually you've got like a plumber, then you got to find an electrician and a designer and a contractor, and they're all on their own separate schedules. It's a nightmare.
Absolutely. I've been there.
So what DeHero Group is trying to do is cut out all that back and forth. They bring all those experts in-house, so it's all coordinated.
Okay, yeah. I'm starting to see how that could work.
Yeah.
So let's break down these services a bit more, shall we? Plumbing, we get it. But what exactly does internal decorations mean? Is this like full-on interior design?
Pretty much, yeah. It seems like they have a whole team of designers who work on like space planning and color palettes, helping you choose furniture and finishes, the whole 9 yards.
So you could literally walk in and be like, I want the perfect kitchen, and they'd help you design it and then do all the plumbing for it too.
Exactly. And that's where you really start to see how this multidisciplinary thing could be an advantage. Instead of dealing with a bunch of different people who might not be on the same page, you have one team that's making sure it all comes together the way it should.
Makes sense. But then there's the whole real estate cinematography thing. That one still throws me off a little.
Right.
Like, we're talking about making like home movies here?
Not even close. This is actually pretty strategic. High quality video can make a huge difference in how much people think a property is worth.
How so?
Well, they can do drone shots to show off the landscaping and stuff, and then inside they can really make those rooms pop with the right lighting. Plus, they can even do virtual staging, to help buyers imagine what it would look like with their own furniture.
Ah, so it's like a marketing tool built right in. They're not just building and designing, they're helping you sell it afterward too.
Yep, that's a big part of their pitch. It's this complete package from start to finish.
Okay, so for someone who's actually thinking about working with this company, what are the real, tangible benefits, besides just convenience, I mean?
Well, one thing is potential cost savings. Since they're streamlining the process, they can often get things done faster. And time is money, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And, honestly, when you're doing this kind of project, just having peace of mind is priceless. I can't imagine having one person to call for any issue instead of trying to juggle a million different contractors.
Exactly. And they actually assign you a dedicated project manager to oversee the whole thing, keeps everything on track and within budget. That can really take a lot of stress off the client's plate.
Okay, so it all sounds great, but I have to ask, does this approach have any, potential downsides? Because it does seem kind of ambitious. Can one company really be an expert in so many different areas?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. There's always the risk that they might be spreading themselves too thin. So it's really important for them to make sure they have really skilled people in each department and that everyone's communicating well.
Because otherwise the whole thing could fall apart.
Exactly. But if they can manage all of that, the potential upside is huge. It's like, what if this model was applied to other industries too?
Whoa, hold on. No, that's a really interesting thought. What other fields could benefit from this kind of, integrated approach?
Well, healthcare comes to mind right away. What if doctors worked way more closely with, say, nutritionists or physical therapists or even mental health professionals? That could be a much more holistic way to treat patients.
Right, because it's all connected.
Totally.
Or even education. Imagine schools that combined academic learning with hands-on practical skills training and maybe even personalized mentoring. That could totally change how we prepare kids for the future.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, DeHero Group is definitely doing something interesting here. And it does make you wonder, What other industries are ready for this kind of shakeup? Something to think about, isn't it?
No doubt.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's